Well, I'm really excited to be here today to make the announcement that Lansing's 311 call center, what we've called One Call to City Hall, is officially open for business. Now, I say that they've been taking many calls, but now we're ready to announce it to the public worldwide because we kind of slow rolled it to make sure that we got all the kinks out. I first announced this in my 2021 State of the City speech, and work has been underway behind the scenes to implement this call center. Like so many other things that we have that go through in our lives, COVID slowed down the rollout of the 311 operation, but we're here now, and I'm really excited for what this means for our Lansing residents. By calling 311 on your phone, 311, Lansing residents will get connected with a highly trained customer service agent. And 311 isn't just an answering service that will transfer you away somewhere. They'll be there to assist you right on the spot. They will help you out. The call center agents are trained with a wide variety of city government needs and questions. Again, that's why it took a little bit of time, because they had to get trained in all of our different departments and operations and systems. Everything from tax questions to paying a city bill, stopping or starting a city service, scheduling inspections, reporting non-emergency issues, so many other things. Anything that the city deals with, and we deal with a lot, I can tell you that. Our 311 operators are going to be able to help our residents. The list of things is certainly too long to lay out here, but people will no longer have to search for the right city department to call and then have to hunt for a phone number. Every time someone sends out, we send out our parks guides and candidates send out literature, and it always has like 200 phone numbers. So a citizen has to look at that 200 phone numbers and say, who do I call for this to report that someone's grass is too high or I need a license. Instead of having to go through all that, now it's one number. So maybe some candidates won't like that because they got to put more on the lit piece, but one number, 311. That's all you got to dial. We'll put that in Lansing Living. We're going to make sure that we get that out to folks, but that's what you have to dial. And by making this 311 call to City Hall, residents will now have a fast, efficient, and easy way to connect with city government. And that's one of the things that has been a priority for me, is to make government user-friendly for the end user, which is our residents. Certainly we have a lot of different processes and things at the city. Government is always complex, but we don't need our residents to have to navigate all of that. We want them to have one call, 311, one call to City Hall, where these highly trained operators can then take it from there and can navigate any bureaucracy of government. It's about making it easier for our residents. It looks easy, but there's been so much work behind the scenes. I want to thank three people specifically. One, DeLisa Fontaine, who's our Director of Department of Neighborhoods, Arts, and Citizen Engagement, who is sitting behind me on my left. She has been working tremendously hard with our IT Director, who's the second person, Christopher Mumby, to get this set up. The two of them have been working for months on this. And then we went out for a director of this operation, a manager of the call center, and we identified a tremendous young man, Augustine Martinez. And I say identified, he was working elsewhere in the city, and he applied, and certainly his knowledge of the city and his passion and his energy and his smile. If you've been to any of our neighborhood concerts through the parks, he was working a lot of those, and you couldn't miss Augie's smile. He has been just tremendous. He is a tremendous manager. He's put together a great team. They speak multiple languages. DeLisa just went down there to check on them, make sure they understand people are going to be coming through, and most of them were on calls, which is what we like to see. So these three folks, DeLisa, Augie, and Christopher Mumby, have just done a tremendous job in standing up this new tool for our citizens. It was a big operation to get set up and running, especially during the pandemic. But they did it. They charted the path, and they got this set up and running as quickly and as efficiently as possible. In doing that, they worked with two of our neighbor cities, the city of Kalamazoo and the city of Grand Rapids, both who have mayors that are very good friends of mine. And we looked to them for how their 311 centers were stood up, were in operation, and they provided tremendous advice and insight to our entire team. As a semi-joke at the U.S. Conference of Mayors, they always say, good mayors borrow, great mayors steal. So we definitely did that. We stole this idea from Grand Rapids and Kalamazoo, and we mayors love to steal from each other. It's a badge of honor. We are fellow thieves, and we take it all, because public service and getting good service for your citizens doesn't matter who came up with the idea, but being able to implement that idea That's what's important. So we love taking from each other. And I really have to thank the cities of Kalamazoo and Grand Rapids, Mayor Bliss in Grand Rapids, Mayor Anderson in Kalamazoo, and their staff have just been tremendous to help when we have stood this up, and it's just been huge for Lansing. So the 311 call center will be open and available to residents Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m., which is generally the hours that our city is open, so you can get different things to different people in different departments. I also want to note, because we've gotten this question a lot, that this is not a replacement for 911. If you have an emergency and you need police, call 911. 911 is still the standard for an emergency. It's also not a replacement for 211. We have a lot of people that use 211, which is a social service number. So if you need a wide variety of social services, regardless of what it is, can't pay your bills, other social service needs, basic human needs, please still call 211 and get connected to partner agencies and organizations that provide these critical social service needs. We work very closely with the United Way, who created that here many years ago. I was on the county commission when we created this, and they do a great job. So this is an addition. 211 if you have social service needs, 311 if you have needs within the city government, 911 if you have an emergency. Those are pretty easy to remember instead of having to remember 7-digit numbers and hundreds of them. So with all that, I want to introduce the manager of our 311 call center, who I already mentioned, who's already doing a fantastic job, Augustine Martinez.
Thank you guys so much. I appreciate it. I just want to say a little bit about sort of the operations in the center and how things work and what people can expect when they call. We do have 6 agents who are employed full-time. They work, like Mayor said, 8 to 5, and they take incoming calls that run the gambit of question, concerns, any type of requests that people might need, processes, procedures, reporting issues, things of that nature. We are not a transfer service, so we are not just here to kind of get you in touch with specific departments. Once fully implemented with all departments and every single process and procedure, the idea is that you'll call and whatever your concern is will be addressed right there on the phone with you. And you'll leave that phone call having done the things that you need to be done and not necessarily waiting for any follow-ups or being transferred to any other departments. Another thing that we can offer with the 311 call center is it's not a one-off. So with the cross-training that we have with our agents, we have the ability to help someone who might need something done in multiple departments. If someone wants to, let's say, pay a ticket or a fine or fee and also has a question about some other service in the city, one agent can handle all of that for them on the phone instead of transferring them to another department or sort of starting them on another path of trying to get the information that they need. I'm really excited for the kickoff, this kickoff today, and the agents have worked really hard. There's been a lot of cross-training involved, as Mayor said. We've worked with the departments in the city, and we're going to continue to work with them. This is a continued partnership that's going to grow and build and address concerns. And as we go, we're going to be expanding, doing continuous improvement, and making sure that we're providing the best service that we can. All from a customer service standpoint. I think that that's really important also to let people know that the goal here is to let you know that the city is here to help you, and we're going to try to get you what you need and take a little bit of concern with your issues or the things that you're trying to get done, and potentially even offer a follow-up for you or follow a case through so that things can get done in a timely manner, or at least provide people information if they have something that's in the works and they have questions about it. We also can do general type questions when people don't know who to talk to. A lot of times people don't know in the city where to call or who to speak with about a certain issue. And a lot of those times, those calls are something that we can navigate for people and get them in touch with the correct place or get them the correct information that they might need. So the agents are super excited. I'm super excited. I think it's going to be a wonderful addition to the city, and we are here to help whenever anybody needs it. So thank you.
All right, well, that's what we got for you. Can we take any questions, either myself or Augie, and then we can do one-on-ones, and then after that, we are offering to the media to go down and check out the center, probably one at a time or two at a time, because we don't want to, there's not a lot of space and we don't want to overwhelm the people there, but we certainly want cameras to be able to get shots, reporters to be able to get pictures. So, Kyle.
6 agents and 1 manager, is that the full staff then?
It is, yeah, yes.
Can you elaborate all on the cost and the source of where the funds are coming from to cover this?
The original funds to set this up came from a ramp sale several years ago, and we have departments that each pay a little bit of money towards this. It's in the budget. It was budgeted in this year's budget. So each department pays mostly depending on the usage, the expected usage. So kind of ballparked it for the first year because it's not stood up yet, and then we'll have a better idea going into year 2.
Are these contract employees or are they full-time city employees?
Full-time.
Full-time city employees.
Can you give me an idea what the salary range is for one of the agents in there?
I have no idea.
It is a very livable, it's a livable, sorry.
Yeah,
It's the least.
My apologies. We did want to make sure it was a livable wage. So they are full benefits, and I do believe it is 20 and up.
We can probably get you that. It was probably in the job posting. So Scott can get you that we can get you the job posting, what it was listed as. I don't know the salaries offhand.
And last question, do you know of any other cities in Michigan aside from Kalamazoo or Grand Rapids that are operating this, or is Lansing kind of at the vanguard?
We think Lansing is the third. I don't know if anybody else is in the process of setting it up. I know that there are many outside of Michigan. When I go to talk to other mayors, there are 311 centers outside of Michigan, but we believe Lansing is the third being fully stood up. I couldn't tell you if anybody else is in the process. Questions? Other questions?
I think I have one.
Please.
Talk about the training of the agents. How long is that training period?
So the initial training period is going to be, well, has been since we started. The agents have done roughly 6 months at this point, but it is going to be ongoing. The initial training, I estimate for a new employee coming in to get their hands around everything that needs to be understood, both from the city side as well as from the computer and software side that we are using in-house. I would say 8 months to a year before they're going to be fully ready to take any call that they can. We are padding the system though, where we can segment the training, so certain calls that come in for certain areas can be routed to agents who have done or completed the training in those areas. And then as we wrap in new services, we can also wrap in the calls, so agents won't get overwhelmed when they first start. They can actually kind of be stepped in as they train and learn more.
For sure. And I know you guys talked about the budget. It's in the budget. But can you tell me roughly how much, like a dollar amount, how much it costs to kind of like get this thing up and running?
I don't know the total number. I don't know the total number. We can get you that through our budget, folks. It's in our budget. So, but again, it's broken out department by department depending on the use. But I do not know the total budget. It would be to pay for 6 employees and a manager. And again, standing it up, all those dollars came from the ramp sale when we sold the Townsend ramp a few years ago. That was all the initial costs. So now it's just year to year. But I don't know the exact cost. And then again, in some departments, we have people who were doing this, and we're not going to lose any employees as a result. There's plenty of work to do in each department. As you know, we're hiring like crazy, so there's plenty of work to do. And some people who even were doing jobs out of class because they were trying to answer these while still doing their job. Now they'll be free to do their job. So it'll be a transition, and each department will pay some small amount towards the total cost. But I don't know what the total cost is. We can get that for you.
For sure. And one last question. I know you guys are announcing it today, and you've probably mentioned this. When is it going to be like up and running?
Well, it's up and running as of today. It's right now. It's been, again, we soft opened maybe 2-3 months ago. We soft opened about 2-3 months ago, and we were telling people, you can call 311. It was kind of a word of mouth campaign in order to slow roll it for the folks that were there and as they were getting finally trained and to work out any of the kinks. But today we are ready to say fully operational, presenting it to the media, counting on you all here to get the word out to our citizens. We're excited to have you all here because, again, this is something where we really want to push this out, and the media is good at that. So we're excited to have you here, and we're fully announcing it right now.
So we're here in the 311 call center, City of Lansing, at the South Washington office complex. And this is where the magic happens, where the agents answer phone calls, handle concerns, and help residents. We have one of our agents here. This is Jamal, so I'll let him kind of take it over.
Yes, and pretty much with our daily duties, it's just trying to be proactive in helping the residents as much as we can. by trying to engage more with them, just by simply finding the information that they might not have been able to find, whether it's for city, state, or federal. We'll look it up and try to help that individual by any means we can, because we want that personable experience for the city to be introduced to the people in a more pleasant way, because as we know, with all types of government, you always have that lack of communication, and what we're trying to do here is provide the city with the best communication possible to ensure that they're provided with the proper information and are able to get the business handled that they want.
For me, I think it's a really, really important service to have, one, just because people a lot of times don't know where to call. They might have a concern, a legitimate thing that can be handled, can be helped, can be facilitated in some way. And if they don't know what they don't know, it's really easy for things to get overlooked, or people to just kind of go sort of with whatever they can get. And I think that a service like this provides the ability for citizens to call someone and have them get correct information about what they need, what can be affected. In some instances, many instances actually, there are citizens who they didn't know that certain services were even available, or programs were available, or events were happening, or grant opportunities were available, whatever the case may be. And so it's really just kind of helping to make sure that all those avenues are navigated for citizens and for residents of the city, so that way they can get whatever they need, and in a lot of instances, something that they wouldn't have gotten before. They would have just kind of been shooting in the dark, or not necessarily getting the help at all.
We've been here, we started in December,
Yeah.
and we've just been a part of kind of constructing all the pieces, finding what works, what doesn't work, what helps us, what doesn't help us, trying to simplify the process so that we're able to get the information fast and make sure that it's 100% accurate, so that they're able to again handle their business that they need, or just get the proper information that they need to go further in whatever process that they're looking for.
311 in the city will get you directly to one of these agents. There's no other things that you have to go through. It'll get you directly here. Also, we are under the Department of Neighborhood, Arts, and Citizen Engagement. So for any open employment opportunities or things like that as they come up, that would be posted on Human Resources, and it would run through the Department of Neighborhood. So I think that this is gonna serve in the future to be just a huge hub of services and information, and I think that the limits to it are only kind of what we placed on it ourselves. So I'm really excited to continue to partner with departments and just grow all the things that we're able to offer for citizens.